that would be good. Okay. Welcome to the Board of Health for Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Act of 2023, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency signed into law in March 29th, 2023. This meeting will be conducted via remote means and in person, as long as members of the public can easily access the proceedings in real time and participate remotely. Until further notice, this meeting will no longer be broadcast live, but it may be watched when the show is replayed on YouTube. Members of the public who wish to participate in the meeting may do so in the following manner. In person at the Rope Walk Room, located on the second floor at Plymouth Town Hall. Note that occupancy limit of the room may reduce the number of attendees that can be accommodated. Or you may participate virtually by joining the Zoom meeting. I don't have the Zoom meeting information on here, that they can find that on the web, right? You may also send any comments or questions to publichealth@plymouth-massachusetts.gov. It will be entered into the record and, as practical, time permitting, read and addressed by the Board of Health. So I call to order, and we'll take a roll call. Dr. Potvin.
Present.
Meg Payne.
Present.
Amy Palmer.
Here.
And Katie Marini.
Here.
And I'm Terry Reed. Do we have minutes? We didn't get any minutes.
You should have.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we did. We have one.
Oh, okay.
And, if I may, to the chair, before you
Yes.
proceed, I just want to make the announcement that anybody that does not have their name listed on the screen, if they could please change their name to do so, otherwise you will be disconnected, or if you can just start your video.
Thank you. Okay. The minutes from 12/17/25. I was not present during that meeting, so I'm going to rely on all of you.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, second.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, Dr. Potvin?
Yes.
Edie? Yes.
Amy, yes.
Yes. Okay, and myself abstain. The motion has moved. We have a number of septic variances. We have Webby Engineering. Are they on the?
I don't see anybody.
Okay. And well.
5 Smith Terrace.
Oh, I'm sorry. One for 5 Smith Terrace and one for 10 Shore Road.
Are you the engineer?
I'm the owner.
Okay, so we need to wait.
We need to have the
engineer that has to present.
Okay. Well, let's try Zach Krasinski. Do we have you present? Oh, okay. Come on up.
Not Zach, but.
It's not Zach? Oh, you're not Zach.
Lucas, yeah.
Oh, okay, Lucas, for 9 Blueberry Road and 139 Manamet Point.
Actually, you may not even need to do that.
This is a little bit than the other one.
Yeah, that is nicer.
I'm gonna try to make it work for you, Lucas, but you have an issue.
The right communication thing.
No, I got it.
Well, so fancy. That's Lucas Amato. I'm a practice engineer representing the owners, Thomas Sloan III and Kristen Sloan on 9 Blueberry Road in Plymouth. They had an existing, 2 existing set pools, which is the voluntary upgrade due to the size of the lot and the on-site well. We do have some variances. So the variances include a 5-foot diversion from a full compliance to a 5-foot setback to the abutting property for both the soil absorption system and the septic tank. 1.4 foot diversion from full compliance for 4.4 depth of cover over the soil absorption system. A 24% reduction in the full design criteria for the soil absorption system. And a 46-foot divergence from full compliance for a 54-foot setback to the on-site well there. I will note that the owners of 9 Blueberry are also the owners of 7 Blueberry, that vacant lot across that abutting lot. So those are all the setbacks we are requesting. And again, this is a voluntary upgrade and we have no other variances being, we do have the 0.5 foot diversion from full compliance for the septic tank there for a 3.5 foot cover. And the 1 foot divergence from full it's actually the walkout basement, so, for a foot setback to that foundation. So, up to the board for any questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
You're replacing a cesspools?
Yes, 2 cesspools there, they're going where the proposed soil absorption system is, you can kind of see them in the back there. It's a cesspool, an overflow cesspool, and it's just a voluntary upgrade, so in putting this in, we will be removing all soil soils. And the well was already tested prior to this meeting.
And the results were good.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you.
And I believe there was major fee in that. We will be submitting a deed restriction for the reduction in leach field size as well, the 24%. That's been drafted and will be submitted, denotarized with the registry pending approval.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for replacing a cesspool.
Thank you.
Especially with them.
Yeah, yeah, well, any other questions or concerns? What does Karen, hello. What does the board
Thank you.
recommend?
We recommend approval.
Okay, very good. So, I would like to take a motion for, 9 Blueberry Road to have these, variances accepted.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, Amy makes the motion. Can I have a second?
I'll second.
And, Meg seconds. All those in favor?
Yes.
Oh. He's eager to do that. Okay, yes. Amy, yes, and Meg, yes, and myself, yes. The motion passes.
Officially, we can just take a roll call without calling names if everyone is present in person. I believe.
Oh, is that true?
Yes.
Oh, well, that makes
Yep,
it.
I was gonna say that.
They're
Yeah.
eager.
Since we're
to
all
do
in person, you just, how you start just by saying yes all
Yes.
together, that's acceptable because we're all in
it.
person
We're all
today.
here. Yep, okay, very good. All right, moving on to 139 Manamet Point Road. Is that you as well? Yes.
So Lucas again, with Graphic Engineering, and this is Denny Scott and Dan Nevitt. This one, we have a proposed addition, no increase in flow. They have a 489 square foot addition with full foundation. We are moving that existing tank and placing that to full compliance with Title 5, 11 feet off the foundation. And we are requesting a variance for the 9-foot divergence for a 11-foot setback to a full foundation for the existing soil absorption system due to, wetlands, lot area, site constraints there. And in doing so and keeping that, we are requesting to have the HDPE liner there, which will provide equivalent or better than the 20-foot setback to the foundation.
Any questions?
Is there an anticipation of more people living there?
No, not at this time that I know of, that I'm aware of. It's more of just reconfiguring the existing 781 square foot home with that additional 489 square feet.
Okay. And the septic system has been designed for the existing number of people.
Correct, yes, so there's no signs of hydraulic failure, in the septic system, and it does have the current design for, greater than 330 gallons per day.
Okay.
And are there any abutters? I can't tell, but, okay.
No, no
It looks
abutters.
like they're out there.
Yeah.
It looked like they were out there on their own, so, okay. So that's not an issue. Any other questions?
If I could just pop in through the chair, if I could, Katie, I don't know if, I just want to kind of give you a little rundown of what we're doing. So so the Board of Health, if there's any kind of, variance to what Title V says, which is your septic system, I look at the plans, and if anything is not exactly the way that it should be, for whatever reason, it has to come before the Board of Health, and you guys listen, and then you vote on whether or not you accept it. In this particular situation, it has to be 20 feet from the foundation to the soil absorption system, and they're asking for a variance because they can't make it to that, they can't have that distance. So in that case, that's a pretty simple one, but say this was to an abutter's property. Like say they couldn't make the 10 feet from the abutter, it had to be 5 feet. What would have to happen, sorry, what would have to happen then is the abutter would have to be notified, and they could be here to state their case and whether or not they thought that was a good idea, or they would like to hear a little bit more about why that has to happen that way. So I just like to give you an idea of why we're doing what we're doing. And if you have any questions along the way, please feel free to just say, hey, I have a question about this. Because if you're not used to dealing with septic systems, sometimes it can feel like a different language in a way, you know what I mean, if you're not familiar. But that's why, and the engineer usually comes and presents and says why they're doing what they're doing. And that's why we're here.
I think the other important point is that we can grant variances for the local Plymouth requirements, which are more strict than the state requirements. We can't grant variances for the state requirements.
Oh, we certainly can.
Okay.
I didn't think we could.
Absolutely.
So that's what we do, is like we're granting the variance to Title V, which is the state, and
Yes.
then we have local other ones if we want, but.
Yeah.
But one of the things I think you're referring to is the wells, because
Mhm.
that's a big one. So
Yeah.
Plymouth wells need to be 100 feet away. The state only requires 50 feet. And then, so if it's closer than 50 feet, it can't, you
It
can't.
has to DEP, and
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
not
yeah,
a city,
that's it,
that's,
yeah.
that's away from us.
Yes, so when we see, like, the other one was like 46 feet or something, it's like, you know,
Yeah.
if it was state, it would be fine. So that's more, I think the
Yeah.
barrier was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like that 100 to 50 is one that we see a lot here. And that one is like, well, the state's 50 and we want to be 100 to just kind of give it a little bit more open.
Because it's a review, exactly,
Yeah.
and that's what it does, it gives you a pause, right, and it gives, you know, a different set of eyes to look at it. We're saying the state says 50 feet's okay, Plymouth says we wanna look at anything that's less than 100.
Just
you
to
know,
be sure.
Yep,
Yeah,
just to have a look.
Yeah.
Yep, and maybe talk about it, maybe we want to add some additional, you know, caveats to the plan or
Yeah.
whatever, so,
Yeah.
sorry to take your time.
So what does the,
We would approve. We
Very
recommend approval and his patience as well.
good. Can I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Okay, Aries made the motion, second.
I'll second.
Thank you. Mabel, second, and all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all in favor, aye. The motion passes.
Officially,
Thank
you probably
you.
should say anyone opposed.
Or against. Okay, so yeah, some of the other things we often ask for are whether the well has
You're all
been,
set. Thank you. Thank you.
whether the well has been tested, just for the safety of
drinking water.
the owners. And there was one other thing I was gonna say now, I can't. Okay, all right, well, let's try Webby Engineering again.
There's someone there, I think.
Joe. I don't see Joe. Oh, there he is. Up above. Hi, Joe. Do you hear us?
Yeah, he's got to unmute himself.
You're muted.
Hmm.
We can't hear you.
So, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
We-
Yeah,
10, I'm sorry, 10 Shore Road?
Yes. Joe Webby Engineering. And this is a septic upgrade at 10 Shore Road. Currently, it has a leaching pit that's been in quite a while, since the early 90s, that is very deep in the ground. The piping out of the dwelling comes out under the floor. So in order not to need a pump, we would like to ask for a few variances from the board. One of them is to allow the proposed septic system to be 68 feet from their existing well instead of 100. We're also asking for a reduction to allow uh, the soil absorption system to be 10 feet away from the foundations, knowing that this is deeper than the foundations. And the last request is to allow the depth greater. It's going to be 6 feet in the ground. Instead, the required 3. And the reason for that is because the existing plumbing comes out under the floors. There's no increase in bedrooms.
That's all you're changing? Yes, I guess.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And are there any questions for him?
I'm curious, what happens to the leach pit that's being abandoned?
Yeah.
That'll be pumped out, and it has to be crushed. It can stay in place, but it has to be crushed so as not to be a safety issue.
Okay.
Has there been a recent testing of the well water?
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear that.
Has there been a recent test done on the well water, if it's potable water?
Not that I know, but we can certainly do one under one of your, you can require that. That's very easy.
We usually do, we want to make sure it's safe to drink.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody? And the department recommend?
We would recommend approval and just a little bit of knowledge. In this particular case, it's interesting because the existing well is just called a locus well, meaning it's the homeowner as well that's being impacted. So there's no other well that we're talking about. So if you hear locus well, it just means that it's the homeowner's well. And that's what we're talking about here today.
Okay.
So we would recommend approval.
Thank you. Very good. Is anybody here in the audience from there? Butters or anybody? Okay. All right, well, I will ask for a motion for accepting the variances as proposed on 10 Shore Road.
I'll make the motion.
Very good. And a second?
I'll second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The motion has been approved. Okay. And Joe, you have another one, correct?
Yes, I do.
5 Smith Terrace.
Yes, it's 5 Smith Terrace. Back in 2006, it was a 2-bedroom house, 2-bedroom dwelling. They installed a septic system just large enough for 2 bedrooms, and the Board of Health placed a restriction to the property for just being 2 bedrooms. And what the homeowners would like to do now is they would like to increase the size of their house to increase bedroom. And they would like, so we've designed a septic system to accommodate the 4 bedrooms, but that would require relief to, I guess, abandon the existing restriction on the property. So we're hoping that would happen. There's no wells in the area. It's not in a zone 2 aquifer for restriction. So they're on town water. So I see no reason that they shouldn't be able to. We can meet Title V standards for setbacks and everything else.
Okay.
If I could, through the
Yes.
chair, through research that the office did, there's no reason why this should have been placed to begin with.
Oh.
So I think this should definitely be
In 05?
in 2005.
Okay.
So I think this should be very, very straightforward. They have designed a system that's adequate for 4 bedrooms. It's just a vote to remove the deed restriction.
Was
Okay.
it a 2-bedroom system back then?
It must not have been.
That,
No,
It must have been bigger.
I mean, we
Was it just a clerical error or?
No, I think in 2005, the folks that were in the office.
Okay.
Felt that things like this were important, not necessarily even required. But they felt it was important. So I just want to let that be known. It's a totally different group that was there
Yeah,
back in
right.
2005. None of us.
I was on the board.
Oh, really? Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
But the board
I
didn't.
remember.
No, Amy, the board, it says the board didn't do it. The board, the reason you don't remember is because the board didn't do it.
Yeah, I'm
It
like,
was,
I was on
it
board
was the
then.
director. Yeah, so I'm, right, it was not the board that placed
Well, that
this.
makes sense to me.
Right, but to do this,
So, yes.
but to do this properly,
Yeah.
we are bringing this forward to this
Just
board
clear.
to vote on to remove the,
Okay.
yes, yep.
Okay. So,
I'll
are there
make a
any
motion.
questions? Are there any questions other than that? Other than the things?
Yes, I'll make a motion to remove the deed restriction at, what's the property?
5 Smith
By
Terrace.
Smith Terrace.
Yes. And, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, and then all those in favor? Aye.
thank you very much.
I didn't ask you if you had any, you're the owner,
Oh, yeah.
correct?
You said what I needed to hear.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I should have asked you before we voted, but there you go. Okay. All right. Thank you, Joe. That's very good.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Thank you too.
Okay. Now we have a stable variance. Just from 16 Kirk Circle. Would someone like to come up and talk to that issue? One of you needs to.
Well, I did
Could you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely. My name is Dave Robbins. My wife Alexandra, my daughter Savannah, and my son David. We originally were allowed, as you all know, the miniature horse and full-size horse. The miniature horse unfortunately broke a leg and she had to be put down. Herd animals need to be together. John, my father-in-law, purchased another horse for my daughter, because we found out that the larger horse we had, much older than we were told. So he's kind of just retired. He's not rideable. He is on a very strict pain regimen. He requires lots of extra care, supplements, things like that. The new horse is going to be for my daughter to barrel race. We are involved in a lot of stuff around the other local towns, our town. We take our animals to the Barnstable Fair. They're on, on show at the fair. I know he is larger than the last horse. But the first horse that was considered full size is actually a pony, so I don't know if there was a way to grant us for a pony in one full size rather than the mini in one full size. The moving one would detrimental to the health of the horse that we already have. They need to be together. And, it's honestly to board the horse somewhere else other than home, thousands of dollars that we don't have. I do all the maintenance and care on them. They get regular visits, the farrier, the vet. They're not gonna get the care that they get with us anywhere else. That's why we would like to have both of them out.
we received a letter from the, was it the animal control, correct? Just, did everyone read that letter? I just want to, okay. There was a letter from animal control that they went out and looked, at the area and they, felt that it was well taken care of. They stated that you had waste removed every week.
Weekly, yes.
Correct.
I provided the mayor or Mar
Yeah,
was bought out by Star. So that's who we use and we continue. Everything's removed weekly.
Yeah.
I'm out there 5 a.m. every day, 5:30 p.m. every day. They get cleaned out every day. Yeah, it's a
Okay.
lot of work.
Yeah.
A lot.
okay. And then, before we have our discussion, is there anyone else in the audience that would, any abutters or anyone who would like to make some comments? Okay, would you like to introduce yourself? and
We
come up
need
here?
you to identify yourself so we know who.
We
you are.
have to put that in the minutes, so. Just come sit here first. Yeah. I don't have room for one. We won't like.
Well, I just do know for, that he could add what
Oh,
he,
you can add. So introduce yourself.
Bernadette Moyer, I live at, 131 Len's Way.
Okay. And what is your concern?
So, so I don't, unfortunately, the smell that comes through the, backyard into our yard is extremely offensive. And, I mean, as recently as yesterday morning, when I walked out my door at like 10 o'clock, I was like, oh. And it's every day. And last summer was so bad. It was in the morning, in the afternoon, in the night. We couldn't sit on our side porch. Like when we go out there, it was just, we had to leave. And it was, unfortunately, I mean, I know you say that you're doing a lot to, take care of whatever, but I don't know the reason, but the smell is really offensive. And I don't know whether it just comes like right in our direction for some reason. I know the people that lived next to us moved away, and they did tell us that was the reason they were moving. And we are concerned, if we ever had to sell our house or just enjoy it while we're there, first of all, but then if we ever had to sell, if people came and to the area with, that stench in the air, they wouldn't stay. So it's, and, you probably don't even realize, that is the case, that the smell is coming like that. And I don't know if it's the horses or whatever else, I know you have other animals there, but, it's not good. And it was really terrible, last summer, and we don't like to complain, I mean, we love, it's a great neighborhood and, I love kids and, everything. But it's just, and we were kind of going along, but then we got a letter that there was going to be a change and more and stuff. And we said, we have to go. It's just, it's something that it's very hard to live with. So.
Okay. And this has been, it was going on before with the other horse too.
Oh,
The
yes.
one that's passed. Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
it's not a change.
No.
So through the chair, if I could, I just want to make sure that we're all clear on one thing.
Okay.
This meeting today is to discuss the addition of, to allow the larger horse to stay.
Right.
It's not to say that they can't have a horse. That other horse is gonna stay.
Oh, I know.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
That you knew that horse is gonna, the original horse is staying. This hearing is about whether or not the board will allow a large horse to replace the mini horse.
Right,
Okay.
right, exactly.
Okay.
Does anyone else have?
Yeah, I have a couple of questions.
Concerns or questions?
So can first of all, I'm sorry for the odor.
Yeah.
Can you tell if it's originating from urine or from manure?
Well, I would guess manure, but I really don't know. And a lot of times it's almost, there's a couple of different smells and some of them smell like burning. So I don't know like why, that is. I don't know what is creating it. I just know that it's there.
Do you have any idea
I
what
do
it
have a fireplace, that would be the burning smell, but.
Oh, no, it's not, wood burning.
Oh, it's a
manure
smell.
It's, yeah, it's
burning manure?
It's a burning.
smell, yeah.
It's a manure smell.
Yes.
How often are you having the manure removed?
Weekly,
weekly.
but the manure is put in a dumpster out on the front of the property,
It's not near the back.
it's not out back.
And we have new sand delivered every summer, every spring. We have a new layer of sand comes, costs us like $500. But we plan on doing it again this spring, just the ground is hard. So we can't do it now. But that should mitigate the smell also, which it should have last year also, but.
Yeah, I guess the problem is we're not sure having a full-size horse versus a smaller pony sort of horse. Is that going to change that problem at all?
The mini pony actually goes to the bathroom far more than a bigger horse. Based on the digestive tract, which is, you can look that up anywhere.
No, I clean it, so I know, mini horse poops about 4 more times than a large horse daily.
So it may be possible that some of the odor will dissipate. So,
If anything, the way they're set up right now, it's gonna be less impactful. Because I can't have the new horse eat the old man's food because of all of his stuff. So the pen that was originally there, that you guys all, I think, know about already. The older horse is in that one, and our pool is no longer there. So the new horse is actually closer to our house, further away from the back, over sand. So if anything, it's more spread out rather than in one central area.
Where the pool is, it's gonna be where the pool is.
Pool's gone, pool's been gone for months.
So the pool is like right over like when you go to the back of, when you look over the fence, that's where the pool is.
No,
Pool's against our house.
the pool is off our deck.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah, it's right over the fence from,
No,
our,
not at all.
No.
Can
From-
I ask a question?
well,
Can I?
yeah.
So the animal control officer came out.
Yeah.
Saw everything, I was just from the report, they didn't detect any odor.
I took them out into the pen, they walked into the
Yeah,
pens and
and
everything.
where do you keep the manure? Like, I know you clean it up and then it
So,
goes to.
It goes in a wheelbarrow,
Yeah.
I take it from the wheelbarrow,
Mhm,
this is one pen.
Yep.
Can I still have it, please? And this is the other pen.
Yep.
Backyard, fence line, their barn's over here.
Okay.
Oh, there's.
Clean the barns out, clean,
David, do you want to
Oh,
refer to
thank
property?
you.
yes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
So pool, which was right
Yeah.
here, that's no longer there. This is the one pen for frog.
Yeah.
This is the pen now for Stetson.
Gotcha.
Everything is removed from this pen, and I come out, you can't even see it, the dumpster is down here on the corner of the street.
Okay, thank you,
David.
that's really.
David.
and where is your home?
And where's your home? Which one is yours?
If you're 121, you're in the lower left-hand corner.
Lower left hand?
So we're on 31.
Oh, 131.
There's 130.
You're not even on the map.
We're not on. Oh, okay.
So where is 131?
It's not on the map.
But where is it?
Yeah.
In relation to that.
Oh, the upper.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't think you think, you're thinking of our property, because,
Oh, I'm definitely thinking of your property.
well, there's other animals in the neighborhood.
Dr. Reed,
There's
no,
actually one-
sorry.
Okay, wait.
Thank you.
But, so I'd like to hear what the.
Yeah, I'd like to hear what.
Sure, so, a couple of things to think about. We've also gone out to the property.
Good.
We, are also, in agreement with animal control officers that the property is well maintained. It's well taken care of. The animals are well taken care of, which is always our biggest,
Yeah.
actually, concern. We have verified that the waste is indeed picked up once a week. that it's stored properly. Anyone who has a horse, Katie, this is probably for you too, anyone who has a horse in Plymouth has to have a manure management plan. They have to tell us and the board exactly what they're doing with the waste. They have to keep their food in containers that are, pest proof, meaning they can't, be like a little buffet for other animals to come in and, utilize whatever they're using for their food.
I actually keep the food in the house,
Okay.
so it doesn't get
Oh,
wet
that's
or anything like
even
that.
better. So all of that is good, and both animal control officers have gone to the property as well. They were pleased with condition. They didn't smell anything.
Mhm.
But there is a standard, right? And the standard says that if you want to have 2 horses, you have to have a certain amount of land in Plymouth, and that's why we're here. Because the miniature horse was approved by the board to be able to stay at the property, even though there wasn't enough land for 2 horses. So now we have to talk about that miniature horse is gone, and there's a full-size horse that's now going to be there. So that's why we're here before the board. So, that's what you have to think about. But as far as the condition of the animals, good. As far as the smell is concerned by people who work for the town, good. Manure management plan, acceptable and actually working. Pest control plan, acceptable and working. But as you see, there is an abutter here who is stating something different, so it's important that we listen to all the pieces, but just stating, we state the facts, right? We're facts, not feelings, so we're just telling you what our facts are, and that's what we've observed.
So, I actually do have a question, and that is, I remember when you came before and we gave you the variance.
Yes.
I'm curious why you knew that we gave you a particular variance. Why you didn't come to us before you got the new horse?
To be honest, it was,
Get a variance?
we had to buy him right away.
Mhm.
It was, he just came from Mississippi. He's only been up here since October.
Mhm.
And to get a horse like that for that price that my father-in-law paid for was unimaginable.
Plus she rides, so she needed a horse to ride.
And I felt terrible when we found out that a horse that we bought we were told was 15, was actually 25 at the time when we bought him.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
he doesn't ride. He's
He gets
my old man.
But you can understand how that sort of feels like
Yes.
you were ignoring us, ignoring that step or that,
At the time, I think when the complaint was made, we might have only had him for a week or 2.
okay. All right, any other?
There wasn't even a chance for me to make any, what do I do in this situation? Before,
Mhm.
I was cooking Friendsgiving dinner for all the neighbors. I do that every year,
Mhm.
and that's when animal control came along.
Okay.
I have a question for the department. So in this situation, you've got if one of these forces passed, that variance is gone?
Gone. The variance is
Variance
attached to the
is
animal.
Attached to the area. So
Right.
that.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that variance is
Yeah,
attached,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
to the miniature horse, which is now
yeah.
gone, so
Yeah.
that's why we're here.
Okay.
I have something to say. So I know the family personally, and I didn't visit the property like while they had horses, but I just wanted to attest, like they take very good care of their animals. They love their animals like their family. I know that about them. I also grew up in a horse farm, so like the smell, I don't smell anything, and I'm so sorry that you're dealing with that. But I can't relate because I grew up with that, and I don't know, like I don't smell it anymore. My daughter also rides horses. I go to that barn and I don't smell anything, so I don't know if it's just me. So anyway, I have like a personal connection to this, but I did have a question for the board. What is the amount of land that is required to have a horse on your property?
For 2 horses, 70,000 square feet, and they have 35,274.
Can I ask a question on that?
I just wanna, before we continue, I also wanna, full disclosure, Meg did bring that to the department's attention prior to this meeting.
Yeah.
That she did know the owners, and asked about, if she needed to, excuse herself from any vote. And, I explained, that she didn't, that conflict of interest is only if there was a direct financial, gain. Meaning if she was hired by them to, or she bought a divorce there or something like that, then that could be construed as a financial arrangement. And Meg would have had to excuse herself from the vote, but she does not. But I just want, because full disclosure, because she did, bring that up.
Okay.
May I ask?
Yes.
Okay, just for clarification on it, you said 75,000 square feet for 2 horses? 70,000?
Mhm.
Can I look at my phone real quick? Because I found something off the Plymouth page that said that
So is it 35 for one?
It's 50 for one.
section 9, 25,000 square feet of usable land per horse.
That's on the second horse.
Oh, it's
Can you say that
It
again?
starts at,
It starts at 50.
50 for the first
it's
one.
50 minimum before we talk
And
about
that's what
any
it is?
animal. Yeah,
Okay, oh,
And
so
then it-
50 minimum and then
and you add.
25 for the
Mhm.
second.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Clarification, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure.
And then we looked up we looked up by our records and we saw that you had 35,274.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
So officially, a variance would have been needed for even the one horse.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I do have one other question, and I don't know whether odor is a health issue or not. So.
Two things to think about with that, I would say. One is Plymouth is a right to farm
Mhm,
community.
mhm.
Because of that, along with the right to farm community bylaw, includes a passage that does say that with farming comes smells, noise, dust, dirt. And that is just considered what happens when you are farming. And by right to farm doesn't necessarily mean that they need to have, 40 acres of corn. You know what I mean? Right to farm means that you are allowed to keep animals,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You could grow crops, but
Yeah.
it's also about the keeping of animals. And so we need to, consider that as well. The health implications are important, and that's why we require the manure management plan.
Mhm.
And why we require the pest control plan as well, because those are health implications. You certainly don't want, rodents, running around the neighborhood because, they're not storing their feed appropriately. And you certainly don't want, manure all over the place, because that's not, that's a health impact.
One other thing, Active was our people for pests. For
Oh, okay.
rodents and things like that, he had a separate company for that.
Okay.
I remember also just as like an educational thing, talking with another farm, we talked about like whether or not the horses were vaccinated because Tripoli was vaccinated.
There you are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
I have recent Coggins for the new horse too, which says that he's clean or clear of everything as well.
Mhm. Okay, so any other questions or concerns?
But you're saying that, for one horse, you're supposed to have 50 and, they only have 35.
Mhm.
So they really don't, I
They've
mean,
already received a variance to have the one. So
Right.
that's already done.
Yeah.
We're just talking
Yeah.
about the second
I
one.
know exactly.
Yeah.
But they received a variance to have one
Right.
and now they want to have two.
We actually received the variance for 2 prior, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
but one was the
But-
mini
A
horse.
full
that's-
and 1 mini.
Right.
That's done now. So now we need to vote on whether to have the 2.
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
you understand? Okay. All right,
Would you
so
like me to move or stay here?
does the board have, or does the department have a recommendation?
I would just stop to see if there's anyone else in the audience that wants to say anything, either, hello? Yeah, Tracy has to say, but,
I grew up with horses.
okay, you just have to say who you are.
I'm Jonathan Oates. I'm the grandfather of that place.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Alex is my daughter. I grew up with horses as well in Milton, and, I do understand and appreciate, that you're smelling some kind of smell, whether it's a fire type smell or manure type smell or some kind of smells. I had literally 5 barns around me, and I never really smelled anything. And it seemed, I saw the map that was on the screen a second ago. And your whole home is not really even in the picture here. So I'm just wondering if that smell is coming from somewhere else, because the manure smell, it's gonna go up, really. That's a long distance, for a smell to carry over before it goes up into the atmosphere.
Well,
No, and I say that with respect, honestly. I'm just curious to see if there's something else in another part of that area of your home.
nothing.
Okay, I'm just throwing that out there as a possibility.
And I think it could be the wind. You know what I mean? It could be the wind. It goes right to our backyard. We do have a very breezy area, no doubt about it.
They do have a lot of trees between their property and the other properties that abut their home. So I'm just finding it a little bit difficult to, and again, with all due respect, I'm not saying,
Yeah.
negative. About it, I just want to make that clear. But it just seems unusual.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Okay, I think we've had, we get your point, yeah.
But also the people next to me moved because of it.
Okay, well, we don't know that.
No.
Yeah, we really can't say that. So,
Terry, could I make a motion to accept the variance?
I wanted to get,
Sorry.
I want to know what the department recommended, or do you have a recommendation?
The department would recommend approval, and this is why I would recommend approval. I trust my animal control officers because that's what they went to school for.
Right.
That's their purpose, right? That's how they serve the town of Plymouth. Margaret is our health agent. I am the health director. We have both been out there, but we didn't go to school for animals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they did.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take what they wrote, combined with my own personal inspection, the steps that they've taken and they continue to take, because when they came for the first variance, we inspected their property as well. And so they have continued to do exactly what we have requested of them to do. And the fourth and final thing I'll say is we are a right to farm community.
Okay. All right.
Now can I make a motion?
I'd
I'd like to make a motion to accept the variance for the second horse, with the understanding that you would come back if you ever needed another variance before getting another animal.
No, of course.
Yeah. That's good. Okay, and, okay, so, Amy makes a motion and makes seconds. Any discussion? Okay. Dr. Potvin?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
And I'm yes. Okay. The motion is passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tell the older horse that's not well, that we were thinking of him.
He's
Okay,
enjoying his retirement. He moves very slow.
we have another, house variance.
Thank you.
Thank you. House variance for 36 Spooner Street. Is that your home?
Yes.
Okay. Have a seat and introduce yourself, please.
I'm Michael Meehan.
Mhm.
Here to talk about removing the toilet from the downstairs bathroom at 36 Spring Street.
Mhm.
Basically that house, was built in 1915 and it was a one bath house up until 2020. We installed a bathroom specifically because my mother had Alzheimer's and has Alzheimer's and was unable to go up the stairs. She now is in a nursing home, and So a series of circumstances, the Board of Health went there for peeling paint and, got noticed that, there was no, sink in that bathroom. It's basically from here to that wall to the kitchen sink. And it was only a convenience thing for my mother because she couldn't go up the stairs. And what we're asking is that, we'd rather remove that toilet. It's about a $1,600 savings for us to remove the toilet as opposed to put it in a sink. And buying a vanity and all that stuff. And I did get, one estimate from a plumber, and that's what we came up with. It's about a $1,600 savings. So, that's what I'm looking for, an approval to remove that toilet.
And you have another bathroom upstairs, I assume. Okay. Any questions for? Okay, and the department?
Yes.
Recommend.
Yes.
Okay, all right, can I have a motion for, the variance to remove the toilet?
I'll make the motion.
Okay, in a second,
I'll second.
all those in favor?
Yes.
Aye, it is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, moving on, at the last, board meeting, we had a presentation, about bring your own cup program, from Andrea Dickinson. You all had a chance to look at her, slides and some changes that she made based on some of the discussion we had. So, they're looking for an endorsement from us. We don't have to vote on it. We just have to say whether we would like to write a letter of endorsement for them, and then they can take it to, whoever else they need to, in the, town. So is there any discussion about it?
So
or any
basically, we
question?
would be saying, we think this is a good program.
It's
It meets the standards for the food code. Here's some guidelines.
It's
Right.
voluntary.
It's
It's
voluntary.
voluntary.
Mm.
Board of Health stamp of approval.
I wrote a letter, to that effect, that, we certainly want to, help with sustainability, issues that, goes with our philosophy of trying to reduce pollution and waste and supporting recycling and that sort of thing. And as long as they go with the state food laws, which they have outlined, and also the educational program that they had outlined for the sellers.
Yep.
Everybody
I think it's
in
very
agreement?
So this is an option that may be accepted by the owners of the
Right.
establishment. or
Right,
not.
yeah,
It's up to them.
it's up to them.
I mean, I've gone into gone into coffee shops with my to-go container and given it to them just because and I haven't had any issues before. So I feel like it's a practice that's used, but this is
A good awareness.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And it's only gonna be for a month, right? Did you say, or you'll start it?
I'm Andrew.
Yeah.
So the timeline is TBD, so the whole
Okay.
idea was bringing this to the Board of Health and Department of Public Health before we got too far along in the process to make sure it didn't raise any issues or concerns.
Yes.
And so we haven't ironed out exactly what the timeframe was. We are modeling it off of a program that they did on the Cape, and they did theirs, it was starting in July, the classic free July. They did it through September. And so the coffee shops I've been talking to in the early steps want to do like a pilot. So I don't know if we would do a month or 3 months or what, but the idea is that some coffee shops may decide to continue with it long term, in their own way, however they want to do it. But yeah, the idea is to make it easier for them, to make them aware that they can do it. These are some practical tips to follow, because right now, like Amy said, like I'll go to coffee shops and bring my own cup, and sometimes it depends on the barista, they might not have practices. A lot of customers might not feel comfortable like coming in and asking if it's okay, so it's like a marketing thing too, where they'll put up a sign so that customers know that they can bring them and baristas know the process for handling them. So to answer your question, timeline is still.
Yeah, okay. Well, whenever you do it, we will certainly support you. This letter will be sent to her. Should it also be sent to the chamber, or who else should know about that we support?
I think we'll get the letter and then you can decide.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just send it to
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
Okay.
Who would be like the people that you would like to
Yeah.
share it with?
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So we will do that.
I'll probably like put a little packet together and we'll just be part of the packet.
Good.
Much appreciated.
Okay,
Okay, good.
thank you.
Alright.
Okay, moving on now. We have a discussion, about tobacco regulation. This says no vote will be taken. I thought we were gonna vote on it.
I
Okay.
I looked at the agenda and saw no vote, so I guess we're not.
Okay, well, let's, huh?
That's how I got it.
Yeah.
You did? Okay, I
Yeah.
must have put it there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. But,
Well, we can get right up to that point
Yeah.
and then just do it very quickly at the next meeting.
We really
Yeah.
wanna,
Yeah.
get this.
Yeah.
I've learned that like
We
the
can
world,
get there.
yeah, the world isn't gonna change in a month,
In a
but-
month.
or 2 weeks even.
Okay.
I think it-
So Amy's going to, she has fine tuned some of the stuff she sent us before, very finely tuned, by the way, I liked it, so. So, yeah,
Margaret, do you mind putting the tobacco regulation?
Do you have a PowerPoint?
Yes, yeah.
Bear with me.
Yeah, so I looked on the agenda to see what I was actually talking about. So local fines, FDA regulations on pouches and synthetic nicotine. Wait, the next one. So local fines, this is something that we've talked about a few times. It's chapter 11, section 31. It's like, it is a paragraph that's this long and it's right at the end. It says shall be punished by a fine of not more than $1,000. So these are the things that cannot be fined more than $1,000. These would be, if any of these apply to our local regulations. And I put these in the version of the local regulations, so that it's all written out for anybody that needs to read it.
I have one question about that. Amy.
Yes.
It's my understanding that if it's done by non-criminal disposition,
Yeah,
then the limit is $300.
it is, yeah,
So to do this would require something that's not a non-criminal disposition.
right.
Okay.
Right, and Karen and I have had this conversation, and if the department feels strongly about making sure it's maintained at $300, this board can decide if that's it. But if you find somebody $1,000, the non-criminal disposition, the benefit to that is that the courts will take it over and follow through, even though it really does add a ton of work to the
Yeah,
department.
that's,
So that even non-criminal disposition is a ton of work, but $1,000, if it gets assessed to a location, they don't get their permit until they pay the $1,000. That's how most health departments manage to reconcile the books, because until the fines are paid, they don't get to operate the next year. If that's how.
yeah,
because I looked through a bunch of them and some of them are like 100 for the first,
Some of
200,
them are, yeah.
300, and
And the-
some of them include suspensions of the
Mhm.
sales license.
And ours does too, if you read them, which we can change, we have shall in our regulations, and that means that we will do it.
Mhm.
In the first one, it doesn't indicate whether or not it has to be local or state, it just says we shall, it shall be up to, does it say up to, or is it 7 days? I know, sorry.
I think it's set up.
I think it's set up to.
Okay, so that's good, because I feel like there's some that just shouldn't be. Some of those, like if you're selling one rack, like losing your permit for 7 days, I think it's excessive.
Because we do get requests for, changes to the suspension rate,
Yes, yeah.
and that's solely up to us.
Yep. But if this board would rather not have it be 1,000, the reason I put 1,000 for everything was when we were talking about it before,
Mhm.
and it being 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, the conversation was around, well, we can just do 1,000 because we can't do over 1,000. So if this board chooses that you would rather do less than 1,000 for local violations, then we can do that. So it does say in our regulations, if the violation is a sale of tobacco, oh, okay. Art got it.
Yeah.
Just read it. So if they do, no matter what, if they sell it to somebody that, if tobacco is sold, then there is a mandatory suspension of 7 days. But that is the only thing that causes the suspension on the first violation. The second violation is, the tobacco product sales permit shall be suspended for 14 days, but it doesn't differentiate between state and local. So I don't know if you guys want to switch it to say shall be suspended for up to 14 days for the second and up to 30 days for the third.
Yeah.
You want to change that?
Where are you seeing that?
Yeah.
So it's in the violation part.
It's on page, 13.
Down the spine.
Doesn't have basis on
No.
Oh. It's way at the bottom. It's
Okay.
13.
it.
Is that it? Yeah.
Oh,
Yep. So see here, yeah, so I mean, I'm happy to change that language for when we do vote. For it to say,
Yeah, I think.
shall be
it's
suspended for up to 30 days or up to 14 days. So
good.
that in the event of a local violation, this board can choose whether or not we want to have, it will require a suspension. You know, but it can be
Mhm.
1, 2, 3,
Right.
14,
I'm
30
just
days.
worried about increasing the workload on the department
Don't worry
for
about
criminal dispositions.
that. Well, we already do criminal dispositions anyway,
Yeah,
so.
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
It's not that we get that many.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, we don't.
luckily.
The majority of people pay, the people that don't.
Oh, yeah,
pay don't
that's,
get it.
oh, yeah, that's true too, Amy. The only people that are really gonna have to get to that point are the ones that
Yeah.
don't pay, and to be honest with you, that's never happened,
Yeah.
so.
Our tobacco permits are some of the first permits to get renewed and paid.
Yeah, they don't lose them.
Exactly.
Right.
And-
They're the
and-
only ones we don't chase.
Yeah, and I mean, having done non-criminal disposition, like having to take it to court, that's a ton of work. That is a lie that it's easier. Anyways, that's my experience, and then it doesn't make it any easier.
I'm not so sure the judges like it either.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
To be honest,
And the
yeah.
good thing about health departments is that I understand what the law says, but if we want to do things in the most efficient way, it is just waiting it out until they need to buy the next permit, and then all the fees get paid until for when they need it next. So it's not like, we don't charge, I mean, you guys don't charge late fees, do you? Like if for fee, for
I
fine?
do.
Yeah.
So then they have to pay even more money.
We do.
Yeah.
But like I said, we never.
But it
Right,
never
you never
really,
To chase the tobacco permits.
So is this board comfortable with 1,000 for every local fine, like first, second, third offense, $1,000?
Yeah.
Good return.
Yeah.
And then, but I will change the up
Up
to.
to.
And so the
Yeah.
first, so according to our regulations, the first offense, there'll be no suspension unless there's a sale to a minor. I think,
Yes.
yeah, so that's not even, so even if they sell a flavored product, there's no suspension for the first offense.
That's a state
law.
regulator.
Yeah, but it says in our regulations, if the violation is the sale of tobacco product to a person under the age of 21, the tobacco sales permit shall be suspended for 7 consecutive days. It doesn't in our local, but I don't think it does in the state.
I think
I thought,
Cause I mean, do you think that it's 21 and, I mean, if you sell a flavored?
It's always been just if I'm remembering correctly, flavor is a fine, but the suspension and fine is for under 21.
That's what I thought, according to the state law. I mean, we could do up to 7 days, we could take that part out and do up to 7 days for that, you know, so if somebody sells something flavored, or if the board chose to suspend somebody for a local violation, it could be up to 7 days.
Well, with the chair's permission, my concern is that selling the flavored products is actually inducing underage people to use the products, which will probably result in addiction. And so I would favor, you know, that if they make a sale to an underage buyer, regardless, it should be pretty hefty fines and suspensions of permits.
I'm pretty sure that's the way we've been doing it.
I
Yeah.
think,
But you,
We're not making a distinction between
yeah,
flavored and non-flavored. If you sold to someone under 21,
But, so to your point, Barry, do you think that there should be, if somebody's selling something flavored to people over 21, should they be should their permit be suspended?
I think then the up to
Okay,
language would be appropriate.
so,
If it's somebody under 21,
yes.
not up to.
Yeah, I mean, we could, so, I mean, would you, does this board? If it, so I could say, if the violation is the sale of a tobacco product to a person under the age of 21, the tobacco sales permit shall be suspended for 7 consecutive days of
Yes.
operation. And then I can add, for every other first violation, the permit may be suspended up to 7 days or shall be suspended up to 7 days to cause a 1-day suspension.
I think you have to say something like, for sales to someone who is of legal age. Then, we can change the wording for the suspension.
I can work on it and send it out to you guys just to see. I mean, so the main goal is under 21, 100% 7 days.
right,
Yeah.
Other things
And 14 for the second
but I
and
think
30
you
for
should
the
say
third.
may and not shall, because shall is,
for the first offense only.
yeah,
Yep. Okay. All right, so I'll work on that.
okay. Okay.
Oh, okay, so I didn't even know
Yeah,
that.
don't-
It's up there.
Well, you hadn't said next and then you're talking, I'm like,
That's up there.
So the other thing that we can talk about, synthetic nicotine pouches, so these are this is how it's defined in our regulation. So, you know, the non-tobacco nicotine and the oral nicotine pouches, the oral nicotine pouches talks about whether or not, it doesn't distinguish between whether the nicotine is from tobacco or synthetically produced.
Yeah.
So that's, so we've got that in our regulation. And then the next one, please, Margaret. So I have always been like, what is a nicotine pouch made out of? So I found this, and the most interesting thing is PMI is Philip Morris Institute. So Philip Morris has this, you know, so
Yeah.
it looks relatively harmless, which is the goal. But one of the things, it talks about glycerol. So then on the next page, I think, oh, sorry, so anyways, this is what I did put into our regulations if this board chooses to have no, have the content 6 milligrams of nicotine per pouch or less. And then, I'm sorry, so the next one, when you think about what's in VIN, you know, the nicotine content, so this is from Stanford Medicine, like I wanted to make sure I got something that was from a legitimate source, because there's so many things out there that you're like, what? When you think about nicotine pouches, so 1 6 milligram pouch equates to about 2 to 3 cigarettes of nicotine content. So that's the hard thing for me, or the thing for me to start thinking about was like the 6 milligram pouches, what is that for cigarettes and nicotine? And then they do talk about the side effects, nicotine addiction, sore gums and mouth, mental health, abdominal cramps, nausea. And that's just from nicotine. And then the next one, this is the one that so this is from the Iowa State Police Department, their Facebook post. So they talk about the harmful chemical additives. Propylene glycol can irritate the mouth, harm cells, and cause unknown long-term effects. So that's the thing that I worry about in nicotine pouches. I mean, nicotine is tough. You know, it's addiction, anxiety, makes quitting harder, heart and oral health risks, raises heart rate, blood pressure, damages oral health. You know, and I understand like there's this concern about it's better than a cigarette, which is true, and which is why I'm not saying we should ban them. I just think that by minimizing the amount of nicotine that's available per pouch, and I know people might want, you know, a bigger hit of nicotine, well, then they personally can stick 2 pouches in their mouth.
Which they do already.
Which is,
Yeah, the higher one.
right. I feel like with this, it reduces the possibility of addiction. So, so that's what I'm thinking about for our current regulations.
Yeah, I think we have to also consider what the FDA has authorized for.
That's next.
Okay.
That's next.
Yeah, that's next.
Yeah.
Because apparently there was only two that are not flavored
Yeah,
tobacco.
yeah, so, okay, so we'll go to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna see if we want to do that first, but, all right, so these.
And this is from December.
Yeah, so this.
2025.
was recently, circulated throughout health departments. So this letter from the FDA came to the Tobacco Control Alliance in Leominster. So basically, this woman, Joan, was asking for clarification around what can be sold and what cannot, according to the FDA. So this letter says that the FDA has issued marketing granted orders. So according to them, this is the only thing that can be sold from, with FDA approval. So there's 39 tobacco and menthol flavored vape products and 20 nicotine pouch products that have gotten this marketing granted orders from the FDA. So then the next one. So marketing granted order means that the product has been authorized by the FDA and can be lawfully marketed in the United States. So these are web pages. The left is e-cigarettes, the right is nicotine pouches that the FDA has these granted orders. And at the bottom of these lists, it does have this, while these products are authorized to be sold in the United States, it does not mean that these products are safe, nor are they FDA approved. All tobacco products are harmful and potentially addictive. Those who do not use tobacco products shouldn't start. So they have that disclaimer on these pages. And then on the next page, when you go through them and highlight what is not flavored, like it's supposed to be like tobacco flavored. So on the pouches, there's just chew. And on the e-cigarettes, there's more than that, but you can see what's being restricted.
And those two are, one is at 6 milligrams and one is at 9.
9.
Yeah. So it would ultimately be that one brand that could be sold in stores. There is a process that we have to go through to start enforcing this.
Mhm.
And I know, so the next page, the recommendation, so in our Board of Health regulations, the reason why this would be something we would enforce is because, it says in our regulations that each applicant is required to sign a statement declaring that they have read the said regulation and that the applicant is responsible for instructing any and all employees who will be responsible for tobacco product sales regarding federal, state, and local laws about the sale of tobacco in this regulation. So the federal law says you can't sell them. Our regulations say you gotta follow the law. So, the next slide, so the next steps, so there's a letter that was produced by a group of tobacco control experts, that I listed down there. They suggest it gets reviewed by town council. Once town council gives it an approval, it gets sent to the retailers. In the letter from Bob Flett, he asked, he wants to try to set a deadline for April 1st in compliance. I'm not sure if that's possible. So I think a lot of it depends on if town council reads it, what the department can do. But I think it's an interesting twist on vape and in pouches.
So if I understand it correctly, if we limit it to 6 milligrams of nicotine, and it must be tobacco flavored with no other flavorings, according to state law, right? Then there's only one pouch that's available to be sold in the state of, in this case, in the town of Plymouth.
If this.
Which is the on with 6 milligrams
if
of
this
nicotine.
board chooses to restrict the amount of nicotine available in the pouches.
Well, I think we have to. The question is, since the FDA says 6 or 9, should we follow the FDA?
No, I say within our regulations, I am proposing to this board to restrict the amount of nicotine per pouch to 6. But, and then we can, does this board feel comfortable doing that, or does this?
Well, as I recall, we had the, open public meeting
Mhm,
discussion of it.
mhm.
There were people from the convenience store that said we sell more at 9 milligrams than anything else,
Mhm.
right? So I think we have to consider that as well.
I don't think we have to consider.
We don't have to. We can say, no, we're gonna stick it, we're gonna keep the 6.
Yes, I want the 6, but if this board feels like you want 9, I'm happy to change it to the 9 in the regulations or leave it out. We don't have to put that in.
I think we should certainly put it in,
And you think,
either as 6 or 9, depending on what the board thinks.
Well, that's all that's available, so.
That's all they
it's kind
can
of a
set.
moot point. But, I guess I feel that, we know people put 2 in their mouth
Or more.
anyway, so, you know, I think limiting it to 6 is the way to go.
Yeah, I think 6 too, like kind of chips away and like gets us closer to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, never will.
There's somebody else online too, if you wanna.
Okay, so
are you having public comment?
later on, or should I take it now?
That's,
'Cause
it's
it's probably
up to
about
you. If you wanna take public comment while you're discussing it, then
Yeah.
that's up to the board.
Yeah.
You okay to do that? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So is there any more discussion amongst us? Just a second, amongst us. Everybody,
No, those are the things we have to decide, I think.
that's what we have to, well, so the other things, the first part, everybody okay with that?
The finding structure?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're just now talking about the 6 milligrams. Okay, would you like to comment?
Yes. Hello.
Hello. Introduce yourself, please.
Yes. My name is Sachin Patel. I'm from Corner Store, Plymouth, 233 Sandwich Street. And I want to comment on behalf of retail store, Thank you so much for giving me opportunity to speak. I'm here today because nicotine policy affects adults who are trying to make better choice. I cap on nicotine strength for nicotine pouches could undermine the harm reduction qualities of the product, which provides cigarette smokers with satisfying lower risk alternative. Smokers switching away from cigarettes need product capable of delivering satisfying experience, and overly restrictive limits would make that transition far more difficult. Many adult smokers often require higher strength option during the early stages of the transition, limiting pouches to leave levels that fail to meet those needs, risk pushing people back to smoking rather than supporting harm reduction. If the committee, however, decide to adopt a cap, it should align with existing federal guidance. Like you mentioned, in December, FDA authorized the nicotine pouches 9 milligram, demonstrating that this level can meet regulatory standards for safety and appropriateness for public health. Setting the cap at 6 milligram as other towns have done it is both now illogical and unnecessarily restricts access to products that can genuinely help smokers move away from cigarettes. And because we already take age restrictions seriously and follow the law every day, I also want to transition to another concern, the idea of nicotine-free generation. While protecting youth is important, this policy goes much further than enforcing age limits. It permanently removes choice from adults who are legally allowed to make their own decisions. We have no problem following age laws, remembering who we can sell it to. Our POS system have options to enter the customer's date of birth before completing the sale. We also use a daily age reminder sign that changes every day, so
both customers and clerk know the legal age is 21. This system makes it very simple to follow the law. Because of this, we already self-regulating and take responsibility for making sure tobacco and nicotine products are sold only to adults age 21 and older. Thank you so much.
Thank
Is there
you.
any questions?
We have another person that wants to speak with them.
Yes,
Dan Griffin.
Dan Griffin.
So Dan, you can speak if you'd like.
Hi, so my name is Daniel Griffin. I am the operational director at the Vapeway, which is a smoke shop we have one of the smoke shops in your town. Just a couple things, because I was kind of blindsided about the PMTA thing that you guys were just talking about. There are currently 11 states in the US that have a pre-market tobacco application ban, which is what the MGO market authorization you guys are talking about. Just to talk about it real quick, it doesn't just cover it doesn't just cover vapes or nicotine pouches. It also includes cigarettes. From that, there's a 2007 grandfather law that allows anything that was on the market pre-2007 to stay on the market. I did speak to Bob Collette at length about this because we did get this notice in Hyannis. He asked for proof of everything that I've stated, and I emailed him. I can email the board as well with all that proof. But on the FDA website, it does clearly state there are limited circumstances for pre-existing tobacco products. The list is not sorry, I'm just going to read it. The database is not an exhaustive, sorry. Basically, the list they have on their website does not cover all the products that can be legally sold or marketed. It says that on the FDA website. Additionally, there are Supreme Court rulings that have some companies have stays, which allow them to be marketed legally as well. Sorry if I'm kind of rambling. It's just I was just blindsided by that one. I thought this was going to be a talk on just the pouches. So.
I didn't know we knew that.
Yeah, I can email you guys all this information, no problem. I have it all in a file. So does the owner at the Vapeway. As I said, I've talked to Bob Collette at length about this. He wanted proof. I did send him proof of it. He said he was going to run it up the chain. So if there is going to be an MGO discussion, I would like to, make sure it's on the docket so we can all be prepared for it. Because the states that have PMTA registry bans, which basically means they have to be, in the process of the pre-market tobacco application. Their lists range anywhere from 1,600 to 3,000 products on there. So I just wanted to make sure that was well known.
Yeah, I mean, it turns in, as I understand what's happening, and this is, relatively new to all of us. The request from what we got from Bob Collette was for town council to review the letter and then move forward with that. So I don't think anything's happening tomorrow. And it seems like, if this information that you have does get to Bob Collette, that gets to, run up to whoever is running this, then things would change.
My understanding was that the 6 versus 9 is strictly for the oral nicotine pouches.
Yeah.
Right?
He's saying that there's more products that can be sold other than what I just showed.
Yep.
He's
correct.
saying he's saying that if it was on the market before 2007, it can stay on the market. And what he's saying is the FDA on the website, it says this is not an exhaustive list. So
Thank
he's
you.
showing that to Bob Collette.
Okay.
And Bob Collette is gonna figure out what to do with that information. So now we're kind of in a holding pattern from this.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I think we have
for that.
to wait the word from Bob Collette.
Yeah.
For whether or not this is gonna change the ability to sell nicotine pouches and vapes. I mean, it doesn't change the fact that flavors aren't allowed, and it does, and I'm still holding strong to I would like to restrict nicotine pouches to 6 milligrams per pouch. So those are the two things right now that we are discuss.
Right.
Yes, that you were just, yes.
Yeah.
But that is very interesting to hear that there's, other information around that FDA letter that I didn't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
well,
doesn't sound like
thank you,
Bob
Dan,
Leslie.
for giving us that information, and we'll await what up the line says.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, anyone
Yes,
else?
Good thing we weren't voting on this today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
Hello, my name is Harry Patel.
Yeah.
I'm from Bangladesh. My question is, marijuana is legal. You guys are approving. So what's wrong with these products? That's my question is. Because you guys are approved the marijuana licenses down of Plymouth. I can go buy whatever I want to buy. I can smoke over there. Marijuana is like a drug too. Used to be drugs. Now it's considered as illegal. It's not even FDA approved. So can you
Yeah,
guys
so
take a
that
look
one
at
we're
it,
on hold
please?
with. That one we're on hold with.
Yeah, so
The
can you
FDA.
guys take a look at it, which it's not FDA approved also? So,
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
we're definitely on hold.
thank you.
Just because,
Yeah.
yeah.
More information has come to light.
Yeah.
And every time it does, we have to reconsider.
We have
what we're
to
doing.
reconsider.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's information that when we get it, you know, you have.
Yeah, I can buy marijuana at the Plymouth, can I buy my, own product
Right,
that I want to
right,
buy?
and marijuana is not regulated by the Board of Health.
Yeah.
But it's not FDA approved too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, well, it is good we didn't have a vote. We had a nice discussion, and we obviously have more information we need.
That's why I would say it's a living, breathing
It's a
document.
living,
But I
breathing
think that to
document.
determine
Oh,
whether or
yes.
not we want this
Yes.
6 milligrams or not. And I do feel like the point of helping people quit smoking,
Mhm.
like if 1 6 milligram pouch is the same nicotine content
Right.
of two to three
I
cigarettes.
found that, yeah.
That's a
And
lot.
then you go, it's like, you're
Yeah.
basically jamming,
Yeah.
so I do
You're
think that
smoking
that's.
3 cigarettes
You
at
want
once.
people sticking 2 9 milligram pouches in their mouth or 2 6 milligram?
Yeah.
And so I do feel like if there is, if the people are using nicotine pouches as harm reduction, it's not like we're restricting nicotine pouches.
Right. And by the way, the FDA, in discussing all of this, did not recommend using pouches
Exactly.
as a form of getting off of nicotine.
Yes, yeah.
So we can't take a vote because
No.
it actually says no
Right,
vote
no
taken
vote.
on the agenda.
Yeah.
However, if with the board's approval, I have no problem putting that as the first thing that we do at the next meeting.
Okay.
To actually say vote taken on nicotine pouches,
Finding structure.
right,
That's it.
yeah, okay,
Okay, very good.
And
Will
just-
it be on the
just-
town website too?
yep,
Okay,
always
thank you.
is, yeah.
Just for discussion purposes, it is true, I think you made this point. If someone wants more than 6 milligrams of nicotine, they always can put more than one pouch in their mouths, and they usually do. But what'll happen is they'll just run through the little container of pouches faster.
Right.
Because they're gonna be using more pouches every
So they'll
time
be
they use it.
buying more.
So they buy more.
But maybe that.
And that's up to
And
them.
that's, like, I feel like the ability, like, our job is to, like, my point is to reduce the nicotine addiction.
Mhm.
So if people feel like they've got 2 and then they feel like they're spending too much money and they go down to 1, and then, if people are using this as a way to reduce nicotine addiction, if they're using it as a way to get nicotine, by a 6 milligram pouch will be possibly less addictive than a 9 or an 18 or 25 milligram pouch. So in my mind, I'm not restricting people's choice to take a nicotine pouch. But I do feel like from the sense of addiction purposes around nicotine, a lower level would help that.
Yes. And nicotine is one of the most addictive chemicals in our
Exactly, yes.
Okay, very good. So we'll do that.
So I'll leave that in for the version that we're gonna vote on, and I'm gonna edit
Yeah.
around the finding structure.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for all your
Yeah.
work. That's really good. Yeah.
It is scary though, because like they just came out with a commercial, well, like a ad or whatever. It's like margarita,
Oh, the flavors?
sangria.
Yeah.
So I have a question to this board. Do we, when you have flavored pouches, there's like the chill and the cool, is that prohibited from being sold?
Mhm.
Yeah,
It is.
anything that could imply, that it could be, like, cause cool, chill, all
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
links to mint, so it would fall into that, well, as far as we're concerned, that falls into the same thing.
Yes,
Yes, good evening, everyone. My name is Palin, and I own the store at 832 Bond Road, Plymouth. And I'm not against anything, but the thing is, everything happens for good, for a reason. But the next town over can sell it. We can't. That's a discrimination. Why? It's like one person can, other person can sell it, you cannot, you
You
know.
could advocate for that other town to restrict the nicotine pouches to 6 milligrams. And then it was all given to them.
But the other things that I want to tell you, what is next, that instead of 20 pouches in the one can, they will come out with the 40 pouches in one.
Okay.
And same price.
All right.
That's gonna be something else.
They could, we nothing we can do about it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
When you putting ban on 6 milligram, they will come out with the 40 pouches in the one can for 3 milligrams. But they're gonna start more. If you consume alcohol for 2 shots and 10 shots,
So
it's a
I
difference.
can tell you from a Board of Health, public health perspective,
Mhm.
my decision is not around what can be done, but it's around trying to reduce nicotine addiction. And I feel like this step for this board to take will help reduce nicotine addiction, and whatever comes next or whatever people choose is that.
Because the thing is, like, the same thing, like, they put the ban on 5% to 3%. For the Jew,
Yeah,
remember,
yeah,
long time ago.
yeah.
So the customers, whoever used to buy 5% from us, they're buying 2 packs instead of,
yeah,
1 pack.
yeah.
The thing is, it doesn't go away. It's not gonna go away, they're gonna find something else besides of that. And something that FDA, it's approved, then why not go by the state instead of go by town? And it's just something doesn't make any sense, certain town keeps banned, certain town.
Yeah, I can tell you if you look at the history of tobacco, regulations, it always starts local because the state will not make the change in the larger thing. So when you look at it from, smoke-free workplace, that started local. If you look 21 plus, that started local. If you look flavor bans, that started local. So it always starts local. And then whether or not it catches on is up to the locals to determine. But once there's a moving force, then the state steps in and makes it a statewide ban.
And your point is well taken that, they can cross the line and go to another town, but they can also get on the internet. It's
Yes,
just.
They can buy from the internet too, yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Our goal here is to help, reduce health disparity, like health.
No, I understand.
So that's.
Or the health issue,
Yeah, the health issues.
The other thing
Just
that,
say, well, they could do this, or they could do that, or they could do this, would mean we would just give up.
yes,
And
that
I
is.
find that this board is gonna give up.
So if you look at it, the last 5, 6 years, like since they started increasing the age limit. Since then, it's one after another, like 21,
the
then it
nicotine
came
consumer,
it came with the menthol.
Yeah,
Then it came with the cigar packs,
Yeah.
what's the minimum
Yeah.
price, this and that, it's constantly keep going on,
Yes.
right? But the thing is, like, when you go on the border of the state, every single border, source, they have like, in each street, they have 30 locations. They sell all kinds, when you cross the border of the state.
Yes.
They have like 30, 40
Yeah.
store on
Yeah.
each street, they're
Yeah.
selling all kinds of vape, all
Yeah.
kinds of flavors, and then it's just, there is no such a thing as in the coming under control at all. It's
Okay.
just,
Well,
and we are very reliant.
We
on the system.
appreciate your
So
comments.
the business is, we are losing.
Mhm.
The thing is, like, people think is, oh, you bring the different model, what different model we can be? Because of they coming for cigarette or something, this kind of nicotine pouches, they buy something else and then we make money. It's the huge, big volume of that nicotine things, and then our other volume is only 20%. So we rely on that. If we lose that, we lose the whole business. If we lose the business, then we're not gonna catch up all the 10 years, 20 years, at least we go out of business too in the future, next 5 years, 10 years. So that's something to look into.
It's actually not something you would consider on a public health perspective.
No, I understand,
Yeah.
but even if you consume like a lot of sugar or a lot of energy drink, or a lot of alcohol, it's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Anything is the same thing. It's just not controlling, it's just the nicotine level. Yes, I would say I do all kinds of nicotine flavors and all kinds of I taste first, right? I taste on myself. 6 is not that harm. 9, yes, it just gives you buzz and just makes you anxiety,
So
anxiety.
you're good with just the.
So you're good with.
I would be good with the 3 or 6, like it's not that.
Right.
Like very strong the way we think in here,
Yeah.
it's not that high. I don't generally use cigarettes or any other tobacco. I used to, but when I tried it on me first before I sell it to any customer, it's not that the way they're taking 6 milligram that level. Yes, 9, I understand. That's hard.
Yeah, and that's what he's saying, just to stop at 6.
Yes, yeah. So 6 and 3 and 6, it's very, I would say like standard. It's not that. Mostly we sell like, I would say like 60% of 6 and 40% of 3. And nicotine, any chill or smooth, none of them has flavors. Even they
So-
consider as a flavor.
So, we need to wrap this up a little
Sure.
bit,
Oh,
but you said you sell 6 and 3s, you don't even sell 9s.
No, we don't sell 9s. We sell 3 and 6.
Oh,
Some
okay.
people carry 9, 12, 15.
Yeah, so.
That is, it's considered as like too much nicotine.
So this wouldn't.
So that
this
wouldn't
wouldn't
impact
affect
you at all?
Yes, so like
Okay.
they are thinking about like, discussing about the 6 milligram
Yes.
or something chill, it has no flavor. They
Right.
are they think it's a flavor, but it's not.
It doesn't matter, you can't use any kind of wording like that. You
Yeah.
can't make the impression that it would.
He's discussing and he's pushing in every single town, so we come from we have another location in another town too. He's pushing that 6 milligram and chill is as a flavor and 6 milligram is
Yeah.
too high, but actually it's.
Right, I understand that. I understand you're saying that when you utilize it, there's no flavor to it. What we're saying though is you can't market it that way. You can't what we're saying is it is being marketed that way just by using that verbiage. And that's what we're talking
Saying
about. But I think what we're also talking about is 6, and that's exactly what you're talking about too. So I think we're closer than you actually think we are. You know what I mean? I think we're actually.
No, he's trying in another town.
Yeah.
So he's trying to push, completely cancel the 6 milligram at all.
Oh.
But we're not talking about that. We're talking about Plymouth. And
Yeah.
what we're talking about in Plymouth is just saying that you can't sell beyond 6.
Beyond 6, okay,
Right.
okay, yeah.
And we are acknowledging that there are businesses in our town that sell this product. You can continue to sell the product, you just won't be able to sell it past 6.
Oh, yeah, that is fine. We don't sell much, 9 or
Good.
12.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Good. Thank you. Next week, next week. I mean, next meeting,
Thank
yes.
you. Do we, I just know if we had a director's report.
No, I just had one thing to show. Can you actually show the big map, please? I just want to talk about 2 things. While Margaret brings up the map about measles. I also want to let folks know that, there's been a change in IT. Those of you who have your Plymouth-ma.gov email addresses can keep them. But as new members join the board, you will not be getting, a Plymouth-ma.gov email any longer. You'll have to either set your own, Amy publichealth@gmail.com or something like that. Yes. So that,
There will be no more.
Yeah.
The email addresses we currently have.
yes, you get to keep them as long as you are a member of the Board of Health. But if
But
you
everyone
leave,
else has to use their own email address.
correct, anyone that joins the board, or if you leave the board, your email will be stopped, and anyone who joins the board will not have a Plymouth-ma.gov address.
Yeah, I hear it's expensive too.
Well, I think it's more of a safety issue, to be honest with you. We're trying to limit exactly who has access to Plymouth-ma.gov first, security factor. And we're only gonna have the select board be the only group actually that's gonna be able to, employees for the select board.
Sounds to me to avoid a real bad mess with a lot of emails coming in,
Well,
that we'd need a separate email address specifically for new board members that they set up themselves.
yes,
They shouldn't use their personal email.
Right.
no, that's what I was saying, like, do like, like
Yeah.
Karen, Board of Health, Plymouth@gmail.com or something like that, that you could advertise it, I mean, not, or share it if you wanted to.
It's good to keep, any
Yeah.
like FOIA requests and stuff.
So, the next slide is good news, bad news. We'll start with the bad news. Measles, are here in the United States. They'll be ranked now lowest risk, lower, medium, higher, or highest risk. I wanted to share this slide with, folks to let you know that that's Plymouth. And our risk is the lower risk. So we're not quite lowest, but we are lower, which means that we have 80 to 84% of our population is vaccinated. In Plymouth County, it's also 80 to 84%. And so far in Massachusetts, we have 0 measles cases. But that's not, the bad news is that's not true in the rest of the country. So I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention and to public's attention. Like I said, good news, bad news. We're doing okay here, but everyone travels, right? And we travel all over the place, and so it's just something to keep in mind that there are parts of the country that are having a much higher risk than we are right now.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
And there could be measles cases where the people don't even seek medical attention and don't therefore get it reported.
Right.
And, herd
They probably
immunity
do.
only takes effect when 95% of the community is vaccinated.
Yeah, so it's just something to think about.
Yeah.
But that's it for me.
Okay,
Thank you.
very good. But on the same discussion, basically, you want to put my hand washing slide up. Being the pediatric teacher that I am, I was in urgent care. I spent some time in urgent care this weekend, and influenza is here. I can't tell you how bad it is. Lots of children, lots of adults. So I just wanted to review the steps of hand washing, especially for the kids out there and the parents who have kids. Teach them how to properly wash their hands. So the first thing is to use water, lots of water, because the flow of the water gets off some of the germs as well. Use soap, don't just use the water. And make sure that you get every part of your hand. So, I see the kids going like this, and that's the end of that, just their palms. But get in between your fingers, in the back of your hand, and even down on your wrist. And then they always ask me, kids ask, well, how long do I have to do that? And I tell them to sing happy birthday twice. Twice. And that's how long you have to do it. And then you rinse them again under lots of water, get it off, and dry them with a clean towel. Don't dry it on your shirt or your pant legs or those kind of. But actually, I'm taking all the fun out of it. But hand washing has been the mainstay of preventing things from spreading, including measles. Of course, we want them to.
But I mean, it's true though, even like during COVID, right? We've always said it always starts with self-care, right?
Yes.
You have to protect yourself in order not to spread to anyone else. And the number one thing you can do is you wash your hands.
Wash your hands, very simple. So that's my little public service announcement for today. And
could I add something to your public service announcement? Because I've taught public health for a long time.
Yes.
And I always told my students, if you're going to sneeze or cough, make sure you do it into your elbow. Don't do it into your hands.
That's right.
And it worked. And I said, and I will notice who's doing which.
I think generationally, the kids were we were raised like this.
We were raised like this.
Yeah.
You see it more and more now.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said cover your mouth and you.
Yeah.
But now we do this. So yes, that's a good point. Thank you. Lastly, we have, another Board of Health meeting on, February 4th. That will be a virtual meeting. Katie Brown will be a guest speaker. She is going to talk about bird flu. She's an epidemiologist.
She is.
So she's gonna be.
She's
Like a star.
Yes, she
Yeah.
is.
she's the top of the pile.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to that, and we don't have breast.
She's actually talking about One Health, and then I'm gonna ask if she can.
Oh,
say, say
Yeah,
a little
okay.
something on birds.
Absolutely.
And I have one happy announcement to make
Yes.
that everyone should hear. I found out that there will be an MAHB conference here in Plymouth again at the 1620.
Oh,
It is currently scheduled for March 21st. So it doesn't conflict with our meeting, because I made that point quite forcefully last time.
Okay,
And so-
very good.
March 21st, it's a Saturday. And
And
it will
it'll
be
be
at
at the hotel?
1620, here in
Yeah.
Plymouth.
Great. Okay,
Well, it's one of those, keep the date open.
yeah. Anyone have any other things they want to add? Okay, would someone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, and a second,
I'll second.
and all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.